Excuse the wet hair. Good morning. It's a bit early here in the morning. People often ask me what is so enticing about being a minimalist traveler, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened with me recently, because it is exactly why you need to be packing less and going for the minimalism approach to packing all of your stuff. Here's what happened. I recently was on a trip to France, and for some reason on my trip to France, my luggage got flagged and so did I. So my hands got swabbed, my luggage got swabbed. It was like nothing a big deal. It happens all the time in the airport. But it was just, it is what it is. I go off to France, I have a lovely time, I enjoy my trip, and then I come back from France. As I'm coming back through France, a couple of things happen back on the Canadian side. I land in Montreal. I have a really interesting challenge when I speak any other language. Whatever language accent I've heard last is my new adopted accent. It's very handy. I morph extremely well when I travel, but it also produces some challenges because after having spent about a month in France, I come back to Montreal and my French Canadian accent is completely obliterated and it's been replaced entirely by a lovely, pure Parisian accent, which it doesn't last, by the way. It lingered and was gone. I land back in Canada and for some reason I got flagged again, but now with a new challenge, which is that I am very clearly traveling on a Canadian passport with a French accent, and nothing is making sense to the border security guards. They're asking me all sorts of questions like where are you, where do you work, and how long you do plan to be in Canada. I'm like, no, I am Canadian. It was very difficult, but I navigated it just fine. And then as I get to the next round of people, because I was being passed off from person to person. I don't know why I was flagged for being so high security, but it is what it is. Get sent off to the next round of people who then want to check my luggage. I'm wearing a backpack, which is a 40-liter Farpoint Osprey backpack. It's quite compact, and I'm a minimalist traveler, so there's not a lot in there. It's packed, but it's not like crazy packed. I've got my 40-liter backpack on, and once again, I'm being peppered with more questions, and my French accent is not holding up to what they think I should be as a Canadian, and finally they just want to know what's in my bag. They start asking me questions about where my luggage is, and I'm like, right here. And they're like, no, when's the rest of your luggage coming? And I'm like, just like, no, this is all there is. They were in complete disbelief about how little I had with me, and in the end, my luggage didn't get tossed again, which is a nice upgrade given how much scrutiny I was getting. And the end result was that I just sailed on through, and all was well. I just had to answer a lot of questions in a very short period of time, which was uncomfortable, but like whatever, it can be uncomfortable in Canada all day. You are not going to get flagged as a smuggler if your tiny little bag is all that you're carrying. I don't know why I keep getting flagged as a smuggler. It's probably because I travel so much and I carry such a small amount of luggage with me. But the good news is that it makes it so much easier when you have very little luggage, and even if they were to toss my luggage, they would find, I don't know, my underwear, which is probably not all that interesting. But that's all that they're going to find. And the net result is I came back to Canadian soil, zero problems, came back to Victoria, British Columbia, where I live, and all was well. I strongly suggest you consider packing considerably less, because you are just going to attract less attention when it comes time to your luggage. You, your person, might attract a lot of attention, but your luggage will not. And that's a big relief, especially if you start traveling to more and more places where smuggling is actually an issue. I don't know what I'd be smuggling back from France. Cheese? What do they smuggle back from France? Anyway, safe travels.